I'm Sarah. Today I'm going to show you guys how to properly expose your image when shooting with a DSLR. There are three parts to a properly exposed image. First is ISO, second is aperture, third is shutter speed. These three features all need to be set correctly in order to create a properly exposed image. First is ISO. ISO controls the brightness of your image. You can control ISO by pressing this button labeled ISO on top of the DSLR. After pressing ISO, this screen will pop up. The ISO can be changed by turning the knob on top of the DSLR. The higher you go in ISO, the brighter the image becomes. This ISO is set at 6400. The brighter the ISO, the more grainy your image will appear. Typically, we do not shoot in a high ISO. The next part to a properly exposed image is aperture. Aperture is very important in controlling the depth of field of your image. If you don't know what depth of field is, depth of field determines what part of your image is in focus. The second number at the bottom of the screen, 3.5, is your aperture. Aperture is controlled by holding down the AV button and scrolling on the top of the DSLR. As you can see, as I go higher in aperture, the image gets darker. With an aperture of 3.5, you can see that the water bottle is the only object in focus. With a higher aperture of 7.1, you can see that more objects become in focus. Lastly is shutter speed. Shutter speed is important because it controls the blurriness of your image. This first number at the bottom of the screen, 30, is your shutter speed. Shutter speed is controlled by simply turning the knob on the top of the DSLR. As you can see, the shutter speed is changing. Shutter speed is double the frame rate that you are shooting in. Say I'm shooting in 30 frames per second, then the shutter speed should be read as 60 frames per second. Now that you have learned the three features that are important in creating a properly exposed image, you can create your videos with a clearer picture when shooting with a DSLR. Thanks for watching!